Abusuafo yin kopie mu high court ni kopie mu high court a omasamo CJ Chief Justice tokono a chese efa nsem bia chese wakokika omasamo content ni nyoma bebre na ama tension aba Mami super chese nya sem kuto ndi ti amane ko ni bebre na yese omore draw security a chese ewo ni fie ebo ni fie ho ban ene nyoma bebre a chese aban ni provide the money ni nyina Umienkuti and send Munchi. Subscribe to my channel, like it, never I don't good comment section or come. Yakoba, there can't be unprepared. We do BBS.
Me as Chief Justice 6 feet at last. Who are there now? They call. Who are Chief Justice of Ghana? And I'm going to Chief Justice.
Chief Justice for my
it must get to you clear. To pension emoluments are on Emma on some. And you are not the first person as Chief Justice who has been removed. If you don't know, let me remind you. Justice Seyaku Kosa, are you any better person than that man? Yes. Kwame Nkrumah removed him when he failed to sentence the people who were
Seyaku Kosa.
Yes, Seyaku Kosa.
So social studies are now.
Gabi, I did all together.
Fantastic.
I know Aku Kosa. I know the grandson who is a lawyer, a competent lawyer.
It was a Chief Justice. Yes, where your first time, man. You're a Chief Justice.
It cannot be true. She comes from Winneba. Aku Kosa comes from Winneba. Aku Kosa comes from Winneba. She should know
the same place.
Yes, where she comes from.
Thank you.
Aku Kosa was removed. Say Aku Kosa.
Fantastic.
I know the grandson. I'm saying he's an effective lawyer in town today.
More fire.
Giving many people legal services. Highly intelligent person. And look, the reason for the in-camera hearing, you have broken it. The Article 146.2, you are in breach of the 1992 Constitution, madam. You are in breach of it. You have come to tell us the story as pertains in the in-camera hearing. We don't want to listen. The state does not want us to listen. That is why the state shelved it from us in this article. And there's a reason to it. You have broken the trust of the people. Courting public sentiment. Yes. Now yet certain committee in the middle of it. Who appear who challenge committee who to I am Pia. Look at the hatred and venom coming from your mouth against Gabriel Pamwine Scott. What I mean, the chairman of the committee. Look at how the words that came out of your mouth to describe
useless statement.
To describe Gabriel Pamwine Scott. How and why? That's hatred. And then one of your vilifiers, I say so because you call them vilifiers, Daniel Ofori, who has a case against you. That man, look at the words you used to describe him. Mami pa officer ubro bi so. And you've got to do a press conference.
What?
This is what I call press theatrics. Theatrics of the press. Me yesterday I didn't watch. Me you do share. Ikwalakre wo bi fie ko mu dum TV no. Wo imamu ni ade, wo dum TV o share. Onu ni
e nonsense.
Doesn't make sense. Emre times has really told the Bogabi, look,
waste of
this is a clear case of what I call a brazen orgy of a facade to cut public sentiments. Na nie we onoka so tim na da se o mse be bia de do no, de na nusuo no mu. What say
kura wo da nsuo mu
afọ pray biom nti na wie ya ba nti so pray no do obi akọ she's clutching onto straws on high oceans waka yes
fidie na yi no
nti Bogabi 146 na 146 na yes that is it
edin saloto se ko ye
146 na
the men are self preparing
no see 146 na
the men are boss my any appear here
Bogabi yesterday it was a cacophony of unredeemed noises coming from that Tokonu woman. Tell her that I said so the law is the law.
She's nobody.
Is the law.
She's nobody.
She has been caught up in
suspended.
Yes.
Quiet.
You called those times.
Be quiet.
That there were cacophony of noises.
Be quiet.
Today,
Madam, House of Folk, you must say,
be quiet and don't be silly. Madam Tokonu, listen.
Fantastic.
The law is ahead of you.
Yes.
You rather went to learn the law. So the law is far ahead of you. And there are people who know the law better than you. You are put in your position not based on merit, but by political partisan coloration. And today it is clear. You sit with those people who appointed you at your press conference. They are the people who are running around you. A former attorney general is your lawyer. So everybody has seen your partisan coloration. Indeed, you could not be Chief Justice. Indeed, you cannot be Chief Justice as partisan as you have demonstrated even in recent times. So your suspension
spoke about
you will never come back.
About the judges.
That's Mugabe. That's what I want to tell you.
Was shocked.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Listen, Mugabe. Anybody who wants to clutch onto that history is a wicked person, because you're not the one who was killed. You're not the one. Kojo Japan was killed. FP Sarkodie was killed, and Justice Grantinado. And then Major Aqua, he was Colonel. He was dropped to Major Aqua in the army because of the involvements in trying to overthrow Champions government. That's what I heard. Mugabe, as some way see under Article Law 15 of the PNDC law, they set up a committee quickly, a special investigations board, and do a Justice Samuel Azukrab. If you know his name in legal history, go and find out. He was the former Chief Justice of Ghana. He was made to head the Special Investigations Board to oversee the trouble that had come. It was on 3rd July that Rawlings 1982 was briefed. Quickly, when they set up the board, investigations started. And don't think that we don't know the history. People were arrested and brought before the court. Yes, you have Lance Corporal America and Lance Corporal Michael Senya, and then you have Johnny Jandu and Tony Teko, and then Joaquim Amatekwe. These 5 people were brought and tried in the competent tribunal and sentenced to death. In the middle of the trial, America ran away. You can check in 1983, June 1983, breakout from this. He managed to run away. He ran away with Johnny Jandu and Tony Teko, but they were rearrested and brought back. But America got away. So those people were sentenced, and even when they were sentenced, former President Rawlings went to Joaquim Amatekwe to hear his last words because of certain allegations that were going on around certain individuals that were close to Rawlings. I don't want to say this thing, but Mugabe, when Captain Kojo Chikata was about to pass on, he made a comment on air. He made a comment in the media that very painful comment, and I still share those sympathies. That somebody who knew nothing about it. So Rawlings went to where Amatekwe was to find out from him finally what the true story was. And indeed, people were indeed sent to prison. People were shot. Amatekwe was killed by firing squad. So Mugabe, assembling in SCA, the SIB sat, they had their investigations, they prosecuted, and people were executed. It's 45 years or 44 years down the line when the judges were murdered. Why would anybody at this time try to clutch onto those straws? It's because they have belonged to that school of thought for a long time. And nobody has questioned them. The family of those affected, they must question this woman. You call up a Deuce Lodge, a horror center. A Deuce Lodge is part of the state's hotels commission. Go and find the state hotels and catering rest house. It was part of it. And up until today, it's close to the castle. That's where we host, our big presidents who you don't need to take them to the hotel. You understand? You have a vista, big vista that you. So a Deuce Lodge is not a trial center. Even your courts, you Madam Tokonu, your courts that you presided over. When you get to Ghana courts, you are terrified. You enter any court and you have a matter with somebody, especially if it is criminal. You are terrified. Even your court environment, you couldn't change it. You are coming to tell us that a Deuce Lodge is what? You are talking about your uncle. You want to play on your uncle's death. And let me tell you something. I'll say it here now. Nobody hates anybody. The time is now. Joaquim Amatekwe, he was the personnel manager for Gihawk. Joaquim, what's his name? Major Samakwa was the personnel manager for Gihawk. And at the time, Gihawk,
give us the history,